Hey everybody, I'm Shake. I have started doing this little video series that I'm getting into. This is the third video. This is about speakers and the journey I went through to get to my setup I'm at now. So I highly recommend anyone who's new to the industry and they're like, look, I'm a singer guitarist, but I want to start solo gigging. I don't have the budget to buy a lot of speakers. FS Audio I thought was okay. But only for small venues, maybe house parties. I had the FS Lux 10-inch speaker, and I had the Lux 15. And I found, when it comes to those cheaper quality speakers like Vonix, Alto, FS, I find that even if it's rated as a max SPL of 125 decibels, for example, you can't get anywhere near that, and it would distort earlier. So I found that with the Lux 10 and the Lux 15. I found the volume knobs were actually quite scratchy. So I was very concerned that was going to lead up to another issue later. So I decided to get rid of those FS speakers as quickly as I could. I do not recommend them. However, I do recommend the next speaker I got to. So the next ones I got a hold of was the Yamaha DBR 10 and the DBR 12. So the 10-inch speaker and the 12-inch speaker. These reach a max SPL of 130, and I never maxed out. With the time that I did use them, never got maxed. These things go loud. I love these speakers because the DBR 10 and 12 are plastic in casing, meaning they're super light, and they're actually quite small. So funnily enough, I bought a Yamaha DXR 8, and I had the DBR 10. And I had them side by side, and even though this was an 8 and this was a 10, I find the DXR 8 was just as big as the DBR 10. It was heavier than the DBR 10, and because I had the 8-inch horn, woofer, it was actually less bassy than DBR 10. So summary, I actually found the DBR 10 sounded better than the DXR 8. Even though the DBR 10 was 700 new, the DXR 8 was 1000 new, I actually preferred the DBR 10. So my context is I have electric drum kits. So I want the snare to sound full, the bass to sound deep when it comes to the kick drum. So if you are interested in getting like a monitor or a drum practice speaker, drum amp for your electric drums, highly recommend the DBR 10 and DBR 12. Light, compact, sounds great. If I was going to do two speakers for a duo, trio, or DJ, would definitely be happy with the DBR 10 or the DBR 12, and I would just pair it up with the ELX sub, which was the cheapest, best, smallest sub in that price range. That would still fit in my car. So that would have been my traditional set, would be a Yamaha DBR 10, a pair with the ELX 200. So for anyone interested, highly recommend the DBR 10. The only reason why I got rid of all of these Yamahas and the LX is because I got the chance to get an Evolve 50M. And it was my chance to get a wider dispersion, still get roughly the same or similar bass when it comes to the 12-inch sub. The top sounded great for what I wanted, but the main thing was having that 6-channel mixer on the back with effects, presets through your app, through the phone, and even having compression on the vocals. It just made the Evolve 50M the perfect speaker. So I was recommended by DJ City to get that, but I was not going to go brand new. I couldn't afford $3,000, not for the amount of gigs that I was doing or hoping to do. But yeah, that's my point of view. I think the 50M is the perfect speaker when it comes to having column, but if you're going more, you want to have two speakers and you're going to couple it with a really good sub, I found the DBR 10 coupled with an ELX 200 sub is the way to go. Look, if you got any questions, comments, or you want to discuss your ideal setup at that price point with that size, then yeah, let's talk about it. Alright, thank you.